Hi, this is Sharon Acoff-Sledge, and today I want to talk about a focus group study. What are the methodologies that we use? What are the advantages of a focus group study? So, what is a focus group study? It's a qualitative research method that involves a structured discussion among a small group of participants. And it's guided by a moderator, and the primary goal is to collect detailed opinions, perceptions, and attitudes regarding a specific topic, product, or issue. Focus groups provide insights that may not emerge from individual interviews or surveys by the way they do that is it fosters interactive discussions. So group dynamics will affect some of your answers. So when should we use a focus group study? A focus group study should be used when researchers seek to explore complex behaviors, motivations, and perceptions within a group dynamic. It is particularly valuable for understanding how people think about an issue, a product, an experience in a social context. It is commonly employed in market research, education research, healthcare studies, policy evaluations, and it helps understand social influences on opinions. This focus group is interesting because my family sings together, and we released a gospel CD. And before we released it to the general public, we had several focus groups that consisted of different ages, different demographics, and we fed them and we had them just share with us their opinions on our music and what things would make it better, what things should we keep, and it was just interesting. We made some changes based on what the focus group said, because the focus group would be the possible consumers. So even in education, which I'm a part of, my consumers would be my students, all the stakeholders, the community, the Board of Education, other teachers in the department. So we would want to use a focus group to study certain things. What methodology is used in a focus group study? It typically involves participant selection, choosing a diverse yet relevant sample. And the source that I use said usually 6 to 12 relevant individuals would be good for a focus study. And the moderator would facilitate the discussion. And it's good to have a trained moderator to lead the discussion to ensure that all voices are heard and to guide the conversation with open-ended questions. As I was reading about focus groups, you don't want to have a bunch of yes and no closed-end questions because you're not going to gather the type of data that you would need. Data collection. You usually record your sessions, either audio or video. Of course, you would have permission of your participants to whatever recording method that you use. And then you would probably transcribe that audio or video and analyze it for themes and patterns. How do you design your questions? That's another thing that we have to think about. Semi-structured, open-ended questioning. Uh, we use that to encourage deeper discussion. And you want to use a comfortable setting. We had our people sitting in recliners with headphones, snacks, dinner, whatever time of day, depending on the time of day that they were in there. So we want a neutral setting, and I would also say a comfortable setting to encourage people to be open with their opinions. Now, I'm still studying this coding. What coding is used in a focus group study? You would use qualitative coding techniques. You could do thematic, which you could, with a focus group, you would probably do that because you would identify recurring themes among your participants. Open coding is where you break down the data into discrete parts and then you label them. Axial, connecting different things in categories to identify relationships. Selective coding, refining codes into core themes. That align with your research objective. And then that in vivo or manual coding, it's you could use qualitative data analysis software such as in vivo or Atlas, different things that we use to organize and analyze your data more efficiently. Now, there are advantages of focus group studies. A focus group study provides rich data collection. So it allows for in-depth exploration of participants' thoughts, experiences, and their emotions. Also, you can get interactive insights. Participants build on each other's ideas and leads to a new perspective. You can collect multiple viewpoints in a single session, so data gathering would be efficient. It allows time to clarify and elaborate, so you can probe a participant's response so that they could elaborate and explain further, clarify. And then it allows social context understanding. So you can look at, as a moderator, you can look at how social interactions, and as a data analyzer, how the social interactions shape people's opinions. Now, there are disadvantages to focus group studies. Groupthink and conformity. People in general don't want to stand out or stick out, or we tend to follow the crowd. So you have that tendency for people to just agree with other people's opinions, and you'll get by conforming to like the person that's dominant in the focus group, the person that's dominant in the discussion, instead of expressing their own true feelings. So you could run into that. So that's up to the moderator to keep one person from dominating the discussion. Moderator bias is another thing that may influence your responses and your data. So the facilitator's approach may inadvertently influence responses. Let's say you're doing a political survey and you favor a particular candidate. You may change or drop your tone of voice when you mention the candidate that you don't like. And people will easily catch on to that, and they may respond based on the biases of the moderator. It limited generalizability. Findings are not statistically representative of a larger population. Again, we talked about the dominant voices and how they may overshadow everyone else. It takes a lot of time and resources to do a focus group, and it requires careful planning, and you have to be careful about how you recruit and your data analysis. Okay, populations and situations for focus groups. So, what kind of population would you use in a focus group study? You could do educators, you could do teachers and students discussing curriculum changes. I did an interview this week with one of my high achieving students as to why he can retain information so well. I want to do another interview. It won't be a focus group, but I want to do another interview this week from one of my students who is not performing as well, and what problems, what barriers are there to their retention. And I may just pull small groups. I don't know. This is how I'm thinking about for my research paper. You could do this in healthcare. Patients could share their treatment experiences. You could pull a set of doctors in the same field or nurse practitioners. You could use it in business. You could get consumers to give feedback on different products, and And then you could do like a town hall meeting. A town hall meeting is a focus group where you have discussions on social initiatives. So there are a lot of applications. The way I would use it as an educator, and as retention is an issue with me, and I do have to write this research paper, and I am interested in mathematics retention and the growth mindset. So I would use this as a way of gathering data. So potential focus group studies for me, I could do student engagement and math education, teacher professional development needs. I may do that one anyway, because I do believe that teachers should decide what professional development they need in conjunction with discussions with your evaluator or your administrators. Curriculum reform and STEM education, that would be a good focus group study. In our geometric analysis class last semester, we talked about the Van Hyle model in geometry learning. That would be a good focus group study about that model. And then diversity and inclusion in STEM education. So those are some possible things that I could study. And these are my references. Thank you for listening.